What's up? Hello. Welcome back. Today, I have another non-dual sharing. And what I would like to share is how to identify the truth of your essence outside of form. Now, a good rule of thumb that you could implement is anything you can observe is not the truth of your essence. Yes. Let's say you wake up, you're a little bloated. You're not bloated. That's not the truth of your essence. The body and the rest of the world are in continuous flux. So it's a thing to observe. Let's say you wake up and there is a thought that is persistent on your mind. That thought is not the truth of your essence. It is something to be observed. Let's say there's an emotion. This consistent excitement. Maybe you're annoyed, angry, sad. Whatever the emotion that may be taking over your mind in the day. If it could be observed, it is not the truth of your essence. Now, not to say that it's not real. And not to say that it's not happening. But the point of this teaching is to say any form that you identify with will inherently bring suffering. And the reason for that is because any form that is brought into this world has to go. So when you identify with that form, there's going to be a sense of inherent suffering. Because you're going to try to make sense of it, as it's leaving you, you're going to try to make sense of it. You're going to identify with it so much that you miss what's happening in the present moment whole time. It's going. All forms come and go. Yourself, emotions, thoughts, trees, the world, everything will come and go. So a good rule of thumb is that if you can observe it, it is not the truth of your essence. Now you may ask, okay, then what is the truth of my essence? Your sense of life, your sense of I am right now, that sense is the truth of your essence. And I know it sounds so wow, like that's me. Yes, that's the core. That's the true core of your being. It's the one thing that's been with you your whole existence since you've been a kid. Brought into this world, everything comes and changes your body, changes your thoughts and your interests. All of it changes. The one thing that has remained is your sense of being, your sense of I am. And we overlook it just because of how intertwined it is with our experience. But the truth is, this is the only place where peace is. This is the only place where peace is. So a good way to connect with the sense of I am is to sit in silence. Some would call this meditation. Right? And the reason why we recommend to sit in silence is because in silence, everything dissolves. The agendas that you may have, your thoughts and your aspirations, all of that dissolve in silence. And the only thing that remains is your sense of I am and sense of right now. It's really a beautiful thing. And it is more important than any time on the planet. That's my fake Donald Trump voice. It's more important than any time on the planet to usher in the light of consciousness. And we see it so clearly everywhere in the world, the powers that be, the authoritative powers that be, are all crumbling. Anything that's inauthentic, the world is not thriving. The new earth is being ushered, where connection, true authenticity, expression, alchemy is all being craved by the people. We see the fronts, we see all the agendas. None of that applies. None of that is of interest to a majority of the common citizens, and that energy is expanding in our hearts every day. We just want to be us more than ever. So it's very important to usher in the new earth. And the best way we can do that is to be present and to be aware with each moment that we have. You can do this anywhere. It's just important to do it. You don't have to do it on a mass scale. It's more important that we all bring in the light of consciousness wherever we are. If you're at work, if you work at a restaurant, it's extremely important. If you're a server and you are in a position where you get to be selfless and curate an experience of ease to individuals that come in, what you're doing is heaven sent, a job from God. All right, because it's an opportunity to connect with that person and being, and be selfless, and really connect with them and show them. If you don't say it explicitly, just through that connection, show them that we are one spirit. Let's say you're at work and there are people who are miserable, hate their job, and don't want to be there. It's important for, the evolution of consciousness that you are present in those moments. And that may shine different in each individual. The way that may look, it's going to look different in each individual. But it's extremely important to connect with these people. I know for me, I work at Amazon and I deliver packages, and it's a super laborious job. And the folks are a lot of the times miserable, just tired. And the way I get to bring in the light of consciousness is just to be present and bring a sense of levity, that the job that we are doing is not our life and it's not everything. We get to be outside. Remember that. We get to soak in the sun. The job is good for our overall health. Remember that. We get to come back, If you need help, you'll be rescued. Remember that. And when it's all said and done, be present while you're out in your job, because it's just you. Have fun. If you need some motivation, sometimes the managers allow me to do a motivational speech, and I'll just tell the folks, hey man, we hear what we need to do for our job, but what's most important is that when we're out there, we are enjoying ourselves and that we are present in our job and that we are in love with life. Find something. Fall in love with life one more time today. Yeah. So just to share that's a way in which I get to usher in the light of consciousness. I'm doing these videos to whoever watches is of service to universal consciousness. It's just a reminder that we're one. If you are in partnership, a great way to usher in the light of consciousness is to be present as emotions arise. We know that relationships are like a rocket ship to evolution for our consciousness, right? We've all been there. And a lot of the times It's not such a fun experience because in these relationships, situationships that are experienced, there's a big sense of ego from both parties. So the ego isn't allowed to be stripped as it should be. It's a painful process, usually through isolation and discard. Are we able to strip the ego because you kind of have to dissolve the emotions and recognize yourself deeper from the experience. But in relationships, to say that, it's a beautiful way to usher in the light of consciousness. As emotions come up, old emotions from childhood arise, is a great way to be present and to observe the emotions and to help the partner walk through them. And if accountability is needed, then accountability is needed. But yes, relationships are a beautiful way to usher in the life of consciousness. Friendships, platonic friendships, beautiful way to usher in the light of consciousness. There's going to be times where maybe your friends are unable to show up. They're lying to you. Yeah, I'm fine. Everything's good. They're lying to you. It's a beautiful way to sit with them and their emotions and allow them to really embrace their emotions. But at the end of the day, to embrace the true sense of being that they are. Limitless. Parental relationships, another beautiful way to usher in the light of consciousness. Throughout that relationship, there's going to be bouts of unconsciousness that are bestowed upon you. And as you grow older, you are able to step into your own sense of being. Step away from the role of father, son, daughter, mother, vice versa, everything in between, to step away from those roles and to step into the light of consciousness that you are in this moment. Have those conversations of this is how you showed up, and this was my experience, and this is how it affected me. But I understand, and I see exactly why you act like that, and I forgive you, and I love you. We only have this moment. So let's embrace each other, let's dance, and let's sit in each other's beings and hold each other accountable when we fall short, and let's continue to grow. Beautiful way to usher in the light of consciousness. And if you are a parent, wow. If you are a parent and you have the ability to, you're at a point in your life where you recognize, the truth of your essence, you're in such a beautiful position. So you recognize that child does not belong to you. That child came through you. And that child is their own expression of God, the universal spirit. And you get to play a very fun game, a very fun dance of guidance and allowing that being to find themselves. Very beautiful. If you're an uncle or aunt, very beautiful. You get the experience to be that child's introduction to the world and understanding of how to look when we further on in this life. You get to be a great example of, hey, this is the world, this is who we are, and this is how we show up. Beautiful. Relationships are all of all kinds are a beautiful way to usher in the light of consciousness. Meditation. Meditation is a beautiful way to usher in the light of consciousness. The role of the meditator will have its role. The dedication to dissolve the ego and dissolve the sense of suffering is what the meditator will bring into your life. But there will come a time where the meditator must be dropped too. But that's his whole job. Meditator plays a very selfless role. Ushers you into the light of consciousness until it needs to be dropped. Same with the teacher. When you recognize that truly we are one spirit. It's not a physical thing. It's not an energetic thing. Even though the light of consciousness does manipulate these things. It's a sense of being. It's a sense of I am. The blind person, yourself and a blind person have the same sense of I am. You and Timmy, you and Jonathan, you all have the sense of I am. Gracie the dog is here and may not have an emotional palette the same way that you have, but still experiences a sense of beingness. And it's very evident. Very evident. Even amongst flies, it's evident. Everything in this world, everything ever is blessed with the touch of the universal consciousness. Yeah. So, it's a beautiful time we live in. Very beautiful time that we live in. And I'm sure that we've seen it as we grow. The evolution of consciousness. And just how aware the common individual is. If we look amongst the spiritual realm and the spiritual world, it used to be a thing where only the monks were spiritually aware and had a genuine sense of peace, and the sages. But now, the common man at a grocery store, the cashier, can have a great sense of presence. Eckhart Tolle, for an example. Eckhart Tolle was an old geezer dude from England. When the light of consciousness touched him and ravished his experience. And look at the way he's shown up and been a teacher and a guide for many souls to alleviate their sense of suffering. Anyone. Muji, a young Jamaican artist who found the light of consciousness and has now become a very, very spiritual guide to many around the world. Gangaji, a U.S. Caucasian lady who used to be hella racist, found the light of consciousness was bestowed upon her, and look at the peace she emulates, her aura, her wisdom. It's a new earth. We all have a chance to be touched by the light of consciousness right now. If you go on YouTube and look up non-duality, you will see the common man preaching of the truth of our essence. And it's very evident that they get it. We are going through a new earth. Times are changing. And it's so beautiful. We are soon returning to the Garden of Eden. There's a lot of work, and it would be blessed that if we could experience it in our lifetime in this form that we take in 2024 worldwide. I personally, I'm gonna say it's a rough one. I'm not sure about that. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, but we could definitely experience it within ourselves today, right now. No, did my computer turn off? No. Oh, okay. I didn't touch my computer for a minute, so it just blacked out. Scared me for a second. Like, no, the video didn't record. No. Oh my god. But yeah, man. Yes. We have so much tools, so many teachers, and what a beautiful time to be alive, man. What a beautiful time to be alive. I appreciate you guys for stopping by and listening to my non-dual sharing. Yay! Love you. Peace.